Welcome to my Skelligs vlog. Today I'm going to show you how I took this photograph of the Skelligs with the sea in the foreground from St. Finians Bay and how you can too. It's reasonably quite straightforward, so come on, let's get into it and see what it's all about and join me on my journey. Hello everyone. So today I'm out here in St. Finians Bay. Absolutely amazing spot. Love this place. I was here about 7-8 years ago. I've been here numerous times over my life, but here 7 or 8 years ago and I took a shot, and it's something I always want to replicate. No, it's not that I wanted to replicate this photograph, but I wanted to get a better photograph than this of the Skelligs, because this place is completely epic. So I set out with this one singular goal in mind. If I just got one photograph, I was happy. Driving up the hill on day one, and trust me, no, I wasn't going this fast. I've actually sped up quite a bit. But day one was going to be the Skelligs from St. Finians Bay. Then I was hoping to go to the Kerry Cliifs and then maybe a few other spots like Valentia Island and whatnot. But driving along here now, coming around the corner, and my mind was completely blown. The lighting conditions were just so good. I had to stop. This wasn't a scheduled stop, I just had to stop. Couldn't get over this. The light was incredible. But this is not the best part. I remember standing there taking the photographs, thinking it couldn't get much better than this. So after moving on again and driving down along the road another bit, I come across this completely surreal scene. Look at the bird just flying across right into the light, an old ruin down below. Beautiful scene, but look, this is not what I was here to capture. So I decided I'm going to go straight on to St. Finians Bay and see what happens, because I had a really good feeling the lighting conditions were going to turn out to be absolutely epic. Pulling in towards St. Finians Bay here now, looking ahead, and I can see there are very few cars here, which is an absolute positive, because the last thing you want to do is have loads of people out surfing or kayaking in the water, getting in the way of your shot. So just 2 cars here now, 3 people walking on the beach thinking, oh my God, look at that light. I just knew straight away today was going to be a special day. Basically speaking, what I'm looking to do is I'm trying to get a few nice little sun rays just bouncy across in front of the Skelligs. I think I have them there now. I'll be honest, I'm just taking photographs, sorry. Wow, that looks cool. That looks really cool. That's exactly what I was looking for. That is exactly what I was looking for. I shot this before in portrait. Today I'm shooting in landscape, and I'm just looking, this just keeps getting better here now. That's absolutely immense, that is. Later on, I'm going to go down probably a small bit further when it's getting closer towards sunset, and I'm going to shoot this in portrait. So I don't know, a second, there's just a nice wave coming in, and boom, there we go. Yeah. So I'm going to pop these up on screen as I'm talking to you here now too as well with the settings. So just a really fast edit here. The shot on the left, you noticed, was shot at 1/60th of a second, whereas the shot on the right was shot at 1/200th of a second. The reason I changed from 1/60th to 1/200th is I was experimenting with shutter speeds to see how much of a drag I could get in the faster moving sections of the water. 1/60th was just that bit too slow, so I stuck with the 1/200th. The other thing you'll notice too as well is, as I was taking photographs of birds too as well, I was taking them while they were gliding, so their wings weren't flapping, so you then don't have that issue with movement of the wings. So 1/200th of a second was fast enough for that. Anyway, back to the video. At the moment, I'm shooting at f11. I'm at 1/200th of a second in ISO 64. So I'm going to have to change those settings as the light starts to dip a small bit, because I'm shooting at f11 to get a nice depth of field, and I'm shooting at ISO 64 to keep my image as clean as possible. Oh, there's a bird flying across in front. Oh, boom. Absolutely awesome. One second now. There's a few nice little sun rays coming through there, and you've got the Skelligs in the background, and you've got the beach, and I'm just waiting for the right waves, and I'm waiting for a bird. A few birds, ideally. I was here earlier on today and I got a shed load of birds at a few shots. Now, it was just purely scouting, just coming around, just check to see had conditions changed. Was there anything new or exciting here? And just to refresh my memory as to how it all looked. Really cool scene in front of me. Honestly, no, really, really cool. That is absolutely stunning. And again, there's another nice wave coming in. I'm in the wrong spot. I need to move. I'm in the wrong spot. I should be more over that direction, because I'm looking at those waves to the left of the frame, breaking. So what I'm going to do is I could go over there onto the rocks. The only problem I have is, in my rush to come down onto the beach, because I saw the weather was so good, I didn't actually even throw on my willies. So I'm here now at the moment with no willies on, thinking, right, am I going to chance it and just run through the water there? There's a nice stream. So there's the camera at the moment, and yes, you may have noticed, whenever I do these vlogs, I always completely contradict myself. Anyone looking at this will say, Jesus, Kieran, it should actually be mounted on the lens shoe, the whole system, rather than be, oh, bird, damn it, I'm recording, am I? Ah, blasted. Sorry. Yeah, I'm going to switch off the recording there now for a second. I'm going to go back off to camera mode, and I'm going to wait for that bird to come back in. He's still kind of there. I'm just noticing my shot isn't exactly level either. 1 second. Boom, there we go. Yeah, that was it. Oh, Jesus, that was a nice one. That was a really nice one. That was actually too good, was it? Yeah, that could have been just too good there now. You'll see what I mean when I say too good, that the waves were actually coming up completely in front of the Skelligs. It's why I was hoping to be a small bit higher up. My initial thinking is I should probably be somewhere up there and shooting from slightly more height. In fact, what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and go up over along there, so the waves aren't actually cutting across the foot of the Skelligs. The waves weren't as big as this early on, so I'm going to move. So give me 2 minutes. Even though I'm just looking at the light there now, the light is absolutely epic there now at the moment, and that's a beautiful wave. Wow, and bird, boom, got him, just right in front. Was it? Yeah. Oh my God, this just keeps getting better, and we're not even at sunset yet. Look at that, we're not even at sunset. There's like another hour to go before we hit sunset. There is nobody else here. This is absolutely amazing. Sun is coming out now, shooting straight down through the lens. This is what I was trying to avoid. It's why I was so excited when I got here. There was a lovely cloud bank just over the top of the Skelligs. Another bird. 1 second. Just right over the Skelligs. Yeah, there we go. And a wave too as well. Oh my God. Yeah. I think I have some. I hope I have some new favourites there now. This is where I go home later on and find out that I shot this in ISO 3200 in JPEG. I'm only joking, I didn't. I'm gonna grab the camera and I'm gonna move, because the extra bit of height is gonna lift the Skelligs up over the waves. I just really don't like the way those big waves are coming crashing along as he walks through the water. Never mind me, I'm just getting soaking wet here. The price we pay for taking a good photograph. So what I'm going to try and do is get up a good bit higher, try not to get the camera knocked over too as well, because it is actually fairly windy today. Right, I'm up higher, bit more separation now with the waves. Is there enough? I'm going to go up another bit. Am I in someone's garden? Not that I really care, but you know, I'm just wondering, am I going to someone's garden here? But look, we'll find out in a minute. Someone starts shouting. I'm going to pull these up. And as you can tell by the intense light, the sun is just after coming out. In my head is, because of the fact that the sun is overhead, but the sun is also lower too as well this time of the year, you could get two completely different layers or layered effects on the rocks, which is what we're seeing in those recordings. So instead of trying to listen to me talk with the wind blowing an absolute gale and you having to hope of hearing it, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk you through the photographs. I'm going to show you the photographs I got. Now, bearing in mind this photo shoot took an hour from the time I started driving to the time I took the last photograph, and it took me about 10-15 minutes to get there. In the space of about sort of 25 minutes, I took 70 of the best photographs. No, I'm not going to show you all of them. Don't worry, don't click off just yet. I took 70 of the best photographs that I've taken in the last 12 months, and I'm going to show you my favourites, and I'm going to give you the settings. I'm going to talk you through what I was thinking and the thought process at the time and what I was hoping to achieve. And so yeah, come on, let's get into it. Let's have a look at the photographs. So the first photograph here was shot at 1/60th of a second, and you can quite clearly see there's a nice bit of separation between the waves and the Skelligs. Whereas in the second photograph, the waves got a bit bigger and they started to cut into the rocks a small bit more. Now, I still love the way that the waves were shining up, and it just looks kind of prehistoric. Like, just look at that there now. The waves splashing up along, there's a nice bit of separation between the two islands because of the way the light is falling too as well. There was some absolutely massive wave movement that day, and there was some really beautiful wave captures to be had. But as you can see from this photograph, this was still from the first position, and as of yet, the waves are still cutting off the bottom of the Skelligs. I'm missing that slight bit of separation I want between the water, the waves, and the Skelligs themselves. So from this shot on is when I moved. So my first photograph from the second position, and a bird flew into shot. So I got really excited because I love photographing birds. They just add that lovely bit of detail, and then more of them came in. I thought, this just couldn't get any better. But I was still missing that movement in the sea. As you can quite clearly see in this photograph though, even with large waves, you can still see there is a bit of separation between the Skelligs and the waves themselves. So this is the look I was going for. I'm still shooting at 1/200 of a second in all these photographs. And this photograph, for me personally, is one of my favorites from the day. It's between this one and the next one. I love these images. They just scream peace, serenity and beauty. And these are going to be amazing prints when they're printed off in large format. The light level changed completely then, as did the colour tone. So I can see there's a bird flying through in the first shot here, and I'm shooting these at 1/400 of a second because I didn't want to increase my aperture anymore in this particular shot. The light level dipped completely then again as those dark clouds came in along and the Skelligs were backlit. As you can see, the two islands look like one island there now at the moment. So I dropped my shutter speed down to 1/60th of a second for proper exposure in the shot. I then swapped over into portrait mode to take a photograph in portrait mode. Then I quickly swapped back to landscape. I shot this at about, I think it's about 100mm roughly, to give a sort of a wider view of what was going on in the scene at that particular time. And the final few sequence of photographs, you can see the sun is breaking through the clouds just directly above the Skelligs, really helping to light up the two of them and nothing else practically. Now the waves had died down at this stage to a certain extent. The light wasn't fantastic, but it was still reasonably okay. These were the last shafts of light before the sun got completely swallowed up in those clouds. And that was the end of that. There was no sunset after that. You'll see I used 1/80th of a second as my shutter speed just to balance out the exposure here again. Shot at f11 and ISO 64. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed taking those photographs. So until the next video, see you out there everyone, and thanks for watching.